Hi guys, you're welcome back to my channel. My name is Nazo Easy and this is my little corner of YouTube. You're highly welcome, but please do me a favor and subscribe to my channel while you're here. And to my OGs, the ones that have a special place in my heart, you know that you are the real MVPs. Thank you for always coming back. You are also very welcome. Okay, so guys, the essence of this video is that I'm going to be telling you my birth story about my very first CES. I said I was going to film this video after I filmed the video on the Hebrew women delivery. I don't know if you've watched my video on my stillbirth. So this particular birth story is the one after the stillbirth. It's kind of like a follow-up. And then at the same time, what I plan to achieve with this video is to let you guys know about my very first experience, in case you're one of those who have this fear, in case you're one of those that your doctor has told you that you have to consider having a CES and you're so scared, you don't know what to expect and all that. I'm just trying to tell you what my first experience was like, so it's going to help prepare your mind a little bit as to what to expect on that day. All right, so now remember that the delivery before this one was the stillbirth, in which we didn't know what went wrong. If you haven't watched that video, I'm going to link it at the end of this video. It's going to be in the end card, so please try watch the video. Remember that I said that they did not know, they couldn't tell what was wrong. After I lost that baby and then I bled and everything, the doctors couldn't tell what was wrong. Even when I went for the 2 weeks follow-up after the delivery, they were still asking me questions, wondering what could have gone wrong. That, did you do this? Did you do that? And all my answers, in fact, they didn't know what went wrong. And then I was determined that I wasn't going to have my baby at that my next baby at that hospital. So when I took in again, I went to register at a different hospital. So when I got there, I told them my experience, my past experience, the stillbirth and everything. So the doctor, as was expected, he asked me a lot of questions, trying to figure out what went wrong. He too couldn't figure it out, and then he decided that on my 37th week, which was when the stillbirth happened at 37 weeks, so he said that on my 37th week, that there's something they call anniversary in medical lingo, that it means that if they couldn't say for sure what went wrong the last time, that the next pregnancy they will have to deliver the baby on or before that pregnancy gestation. I don't know if you get, like, it means that since I was 37 weeks when the stillbirth happened, they would make me deliver, I would have to deliver the baby on the 37th week or before 37 weeks. But in that case, they were like, they wanted me to deliver at 36 weeks, and I wasn't okay with it because 36 weeks is not considered full time, but 37 weeks is. So they said, okay, they will monitor me for the next 1 week till the 37th week. So we now decided that they were either going to induce me or do the cesarean section. So me now, I've never done it. Prior to that time, I had never done a cesarean section. So I was kind of skeptical about it. I didn't know what to expect. But me, I just had an open mind. I'm not one of those that when they say you have to do a CS, I'll start binding and casting that, no, God forbid, I'm not going to do it. It's not in my family. They don't used to do. I accepted it, but I wasn't sure of what to expect. And knowing the kind of person I am, I read a lot. Once they tell me that they are going to do this, I just go and research about it to know what to expect. So I went home and told my husband about it, and also told my parents. And they, as it is normal with Nigerian parents, they were like, no, that they are not comfortable with the CS option, that maybe I should opt for them to induce me. So my husband, on the other hand, he was just open to the whole thing. He was like, anything that would make me and the baby come out alive and healthy was what he was going to go for. But he also told his brother, who was a doctor, and that one also was like that they shouldn't do a CS. So finally I told him that, you know what, it's between the both of us. If anything happens to the baby, it is us that everybody will tell sorry. So let us just decide on our own, what do we want to do. And we decided to do the CS. So I went back to the doctor and I asked him a series of questions, because me, I can ask questions when it comes to those type of things. I can ask doctors questions. So I was now asking him. I just made a list of questions, which I'll advise you to do as well if you're not sure of what to expect. Apart from reading up on that thing, ask questions. Ask a lot of questions so that you would be comfortable with that idea. So when I asked him questions like how is it going to be done? What time is it going to be done? Am I going to be sedated? Would I have that headache? As in all sorts of questions. Am I allowed to play music in the theater? And he did his best. Like, I give that doctor kudos actually, because he tried. He tried his best to allay my fears and worries and everything. So on that day, I won't lie, even though I was open to the fact that, as in, I was open to the idea of cesarean section, as a human being, I was scared. I was actually scared. And I remember asking some of my friends that had done CS, and they also told me, one of them in particular was telling me that I should not be scared. I should just go, that nothing was going to happen. That I shouldn't be scared. And then I prayed and the fear was gone. But that day, I tried hard not to dwell on it, because I noticed that whenever I just, if I put my mind to it and I'm dwelling on it, like, hey, they're going to cut me open today and all that, I was feeling, I don't know how to describe the way I was actually feeling inside, but I had that fear. But all I needed to do was to take my mind off it. So I didn't dwell on it. I just focused on the end result. That's the fact that I was going to meet my baby, that they were just going to cut me open, everything will go well, and I'll carry my baby. And that helped me to a large extent. So if I would advise you also not to dwell on it. Don't dwell on the process. Don't be thinking about the procedure of how they are going to cut you, of how they are going to do this or do that. Just take your mind off all that and focus on the fact that your baby will come out and you would meet your baby. So that day, the anesthesia came. The anesthesiologist, what do they call them? Those people that medicate you. I think it's anesthesiologist. So he came on time. We scheduled it for early morning, so that everywhere will be peaceful, everywhere will be calm and cool and everything. And he came, and then they opened the IV line for fluids and everything. They checked my BP, everything was fine. And then they gave me the gown to wear, and they put me on the wheelchair and they wheeled me into the theater. I remember that it was so cold, like the theater was so cold, and everywhere was white and sterile, and it had this sterile smell. In fact, it was just clean. I liked it. And that birth was actually in Nigeria, not the one I had abroad, because that was my very first CS. So I also remember that everywhere was, as in the doctor, the anesthesiologist, the nurses on duty, they were all very calm and happy. And they were just cheery, like they were all trying to distract me and all. I remember the doctor now told me that I should pray. And I was allowed to play music. I was playing music with my iPad. I had a playlist, a gospel playlist I was just playing all through the procedure. So he said I should pray. I was like, no, now, because I knew then that he was trying to make me calm down so that I would not be worried, because he knew very well that it was my very first experience, and I'm sure he knew that I would be scared. So he was just trying to make me calm. And even the anesthesiologist was constantly gisting with me, telling me things to make me laugh. But I remember that immediately they cut me open, the first sensation I felt was hunger, like intense hunger from nowhere. Till today, I don't understand what that was, because I know that before your CS, when they schedule you for elective CS, they usually say that you should not eat. Your last meal is supposed to be by 8 p.m. before the day of the CS. So I didn't eat, but I don't think that was it, because even my subsequent CS, I did not eat. But when they cut me open, I did not feel the type of hunger I felt that day. Do you know what I was hungry for? Uhwa and Cold Stone ice cream. As in, seriously, uhwa, a plate of uhwa and Cold Stone ice cream. And I was just there thinking of this thing, just wishing that somebody would just bring it to me. Like, I remember closing my eyes, and then at a point, the anesthesiologist was asking me that, are you there? What's going on? I told him I'm hungry. They started laughing. I remember they were all laughing at me. But The procedure was so quick. Before I knew it, I just felt there was no pain, definitely, because the spinal block they give you would block all sensation from your waist down. No, not from your, from your waist, from just below your chest, all the way down. So there was no pain. All I could feel was pressure. Pressure, and by pressure, I mean like pulling. They'll be, when they try to pull the baby out of you. That was all I felt. All of a sudden, I heard the baby crying. I was like, so soon, baby's out. And they were like, yes, now. In fact, in that procedure, the only thing that wastes time is the stitching, because they have to stitch you layer by layer, because they cut in layers, so they have to also stitch in layers. And then the stitching, the doctor took his time, and then he made sure the kind of what they call it, the kind of stitches they gave me was the one that dissolves inside. So that first experience was just so smooth. The only thing that was out of place was the fact that after the baby came out and then I was taken into the recovery room, is the nurses. I don't know what we'll do to our Nigerian nurses. I don't know. Not all of them will. Before people come and attack me in the comment section, I'm not generalizing. Most of the Nigerian nurses, like that video, if you watched the video on I posted on Nigerian nurses, you get, there was a miscommunication somewhere. Now, the nurse that was there when the operation was done and all that, she did not write. I think she didn't write it in my charts that they were supposed to give me pitocin or they were not supposed to give. I know, sure, that I bled, and then you see God there. I bled. I didn't even know I was bleeding. And the reason why I did not know I was bleeding, that was while I was in the recovery room lying down. And okay, when I was there was a woman who was in labor before I got there. And then they did my CS. I went to the recovery room. I was still hearing this woman shouting in the delivery room. And I was like, oh my God, just look at. No, they cut my belly. They brought out my baby. CS is good. That was when I knew that there is nothing even wrong with CS. It's just very fast as long as it's elective. Now, I was lying down there. I didn't know I was bleeding. And the reason why I didn't know I was bleeding was because the anesthesia had not yet worn off. It hadn't cleared, so I couldn't feel anything from my waist down. So as a result of that, I did not know, I couldn't feel any blood coming out. You know that if it was a vaginal delivery without epidural and everything, you'll be feeling it when you're bleeding. You'll be feeling clots coming out of you. So in this case, I wasn't feeling anything. I didn't know. But it was God that called my attention to it. How? See you. I was just lying down there, and then all of a sudden I was feeling pain on top of my stomach somewhere. My mom was there and my younger sister was there in the room with me. So I was feeling that pain. It was a very sharp pain. So the nurse came in and I was wondering, why am I feeling this pain? So when the nurse came in, I told her that she should please call me the doctor. And she said, okay. So when she called the doctor, I told the doctor that I was feeling pain. It was later that I realized that pain was the way God called my attention to that thing. So that pain was just there. The doctor now came and said that where I showed him. So he now raised up, because they covered me with a thick white blanket. So when the doctor now raised up the blanket, if you see the big pool of blood in between my legs that was just coming out while I was there, immediately the doctor just turned to my mom and told her and my sister that they should please excuse them. Then he sent the nurse to call another doctor. So it happened that they did not, I wasn't contracting. You see that I wasn't contracting. The bleeding was, I was just bleeding because that miscommunication thing, because it was later the next day that they came to explain to us that it was the nurse's fault. So the doctor was now, the two of them were now trying to stop the bleeding. And you know that for them to stop bleeding, they will put their whole hand inside and try to compress the one that they are always compressing. And it was so painful. I was fighting them. So they had to give me one injection to weaken me. I now felt drowsy immediately. So I didn't know when they finished it in, but they were able to control the bleeding. And then when I woke up the next morning, they now came to tell my mom. No, it was in the evening of that same day. The two doctors now came inside and were telling me that when they saw that blood, some doctors can be very professional. Like when they saw it, their expression did not give them away. They just went straight to what they were doing. It was after the whole thing that he was now like, that when they saw that blood, that he was panicking in his mind because he did not know what could have caused the blood. It was later he now figured out that the nurse failed to write in the chart so that the other nurse will now know that she was supposed to give me an injection. So the other nurse did not, Nigerian nurses, oh God, most Nigerian nurses, they didn't give me that injection. So I was now bleeding. Thank God that God called my attention to that thing by putting that pain there. That pain that I wasn't supposed to feel, because remember that I was numb all the way down. But somehow that pain was there. I was able to feel that pain and call the doctor's attention. If not, I might have bled to death there, because most women bleed, as in they die from postpartum bleeding and all. So that's how God saved me that one. And then the next morning, I now woke up to go take my bath. The nurse that came, the other nurses of yesterday, did not tell her that I bled. And then she tried to raise me up to go give me this tepid bath, what they call it, sponge bath. That's how immediately I stood up, I blacked out and fell down. I don't even know, I just saw myself on the floor. Before they now told her that she bled a lot, she bled a lot the day before. Oh God. Anyway, it's all good, Sha. But the essence of this video, like I said, is to let you know that there is actually, CES can be a lifesaver. And I forgot to mention that when they opened me up, it was when they opened me up that the doctors knew what happened the last time. That's the bet I had. It was when they opened me up that they saw that my uterus wall was paper thin. That it was probably a uterine rupture that I had. In fact, it was a uterine rupture. It was not probably. It was a uterine rupture, because the uterus ruptured, and that was what caused all the heavy bleeding, and then I lost that baby. So he said that if they had induced me, because remember when we knew that they were going to do the CS, my parents were like, no. My husband's family, they were like, no. But me and my husband now decided that we were going to do the CS. If they had induced me, it would have happened again, because remember that the contractions from inducing, induction, is usually stronger. It's usually more intense and stronger than normal contractions. So if they had induced me, the doctor said that it would have happened again. So he was like, thank God we made the choice of CS. So CS can be a lifesaver in a lot of cases. Stop running away from it. Like, somebody commented on one post on Instagram that we need to normalize CS. No, it was Etinosa, the celebrity lady, that made a video urging pastors to normalize CS. Pastors, oh, not doctors, because it is pastors that most Nigerian women that are pregnant listen to. They don't listen to the doctors. It's their pastors that has the final say to them. So she was urging pastors to tell their women congregation that there is nothing wrong with CS. So we need to normalize this thing. There is nothing wrong with it. After all, in advanced countries, most people opt for CS. They just choose their dates, that this is the day I want the baby to come out. They will go and meet the doctor, and then they will plan well. They will prepare. They will bring out the baby on that day. Mother will be fine. Baby will be fine. So I don't know why it's only in Africa. Let me even stop using the word Nigeria. It's only in Africa that they see that thing as an abomination. They see CS as something else, like a taboo. Like if you do it, okay, you know that stigma. They say that people that do CS, they are not strong women, that they are lazy because they don't want to push. What type of nonsense mentality is that in 2020? People are still thinking like that. It's a crying shame. So, fam, I've come to the end of this video because it's already too long as it is. But if people like story time video now, because this is Kukuma a story. So guys, comment section is open as usual. I want to hear from you guys. I like it when you guys comment, because it means that you are flowing. We are flowing together. So I'm eager to hear what you have to say. If there's anybody you want to encourage in the comment section, please head on over to that place and talk to them. Let's hear from you guys. Talk to each other. Interact with each other, because it's an interactive video as always. Thank you so much for watching. If you have watched up to this point, God bless you. You are the real MVP. And then please don't forget to share this video, or the Zibote that you should please share this video. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed watching it, and if you liked the content, give it a thumbs up, and then subscribe if you have not done so. I don't even know why you watched this video up to this point. I even forgot to tell you to go in the beginning because you didn't subscribe yet. So now that you are here up till now, just do the needful. I'm begging you, don't mind me, I'm begging you, please subscribe to my channel. That's the only way my channel can grow. Okay, thank you so much for watching, and then I will see you guys in my next video. Don't forget to stay safe and be washing your hands and everything, because you know that coronavirus is still out there. All right guys, we'll see ourselves in the next video. Bye.